Hello, today I'm going to explain you what are sequences. A sequence is just a series of numbers. These numbers are order. So, for example, when I write 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm writing a sequence. When I write 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, I'm writing a sequence. When I write 3, 8, 5 minus 3, 8, 1, I'm writing a sequence. When I write 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, I'm writing a sequence. In sequences, I have two very important parameters. One of them is n, which represents the place or the order that each term occupies. The other one, which is written as an, is the number at the nth place. So when I say a seventh equals 5, it means at the 7th position I have a 5. Okay? So imagine we have the sequence 3, 11, 5, 7, 3, 9. It means the first term, which is called a1, equals 3. The second term, written a2, equals 11. The third term, written a3, equals 5. The fourth term, a4, equals 7. The fifth term, a5, equals 3. And the sixth term, a6, equals 9. Okay? So I don't have to make mistakes between the place that each number occupies and the number which is placed there. I have three different ways to define a sequence. First of them, giving all the terms. For example, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. The main problem I have with this option is that most of the sequences are infinite, so I can give all the terms. Of course, I can do as I'm doing here and write a series of points at the end, meaning that it continues. Sometimes it's not difficult to continue. For example, here it's not very difficult to know the next term will be 11 and 13 and okay. But it's not always so simple. Next possibility is using what is called the general term. General term is a formula to calculate each term according to its place. For example, in the previous sequence, each term can be calculated by writing to n minus 1. Sorry, because this bracket it's not necessary. Sometimes it's quite easy to write the general term, but it's not always so easy. In fact, is a very difficult exercise in some situations, but here with easy sequences is not difficult. And the last possibility is using a recurring law. A recurring law is a formula to calculate each term using the previous terms. For example, when I write an equals an minus 1, the previous term to an plus 2, I'm writing a recurring law for the original sequence I have in this screen. But of course, to do that, I have also to give the value of the first term, because this way I can calculate all of them. This is what is called a recurring law. A very famous sequence that can be written using a recurring law is Fibonacci's sequence. Fibonacci's sequence has this aspect. And it's not difficult to check that each term can be calculated by adding the two previous terms, and I have, of course, to give the value of the two first terms to allow calculating all of them. This is the most famous sequence that can be written with a recurring law. Now, I ask you to do this task. Distinguish if they are recurring laws or general term. Tomorrow we will correct this exercise at class.